Good evening. Certainly to our host pastor, Reverend Ronnax, and to Pastor Hinsford, Dr. Seals, and to Reverend Lambert, and to all of you, my brothers and my sisters, greet you tonight in the joy of Jesus. You never know in this A.M.E. church where you will end up. Just a few years ago, the preacher I'm about to introduce, and myself and Reverend Stanley Justice, we're all serving together in the Camden-Trenton district. And if you asked any of the three of us back then, if we thought that we'd be at Morris Brown, Mother Bethel, and St. Matthew in a few years, we would have all laughed at you. Somebody say amen. Amen. So you never know in this church where you're going to end up, so you ought to treat folk nice. They say the same folk you see going up, you just might see coming down. The preacher tonight bears a good name. His father, who he's named after, had such a profound impact on me when I was a pastor in the 5th District that truthfully, his mother would attest to this, that if it had not been for the late Bishop Vernon Byrd Sr., I don't know if I would even still be in ministry. But he was my bishop at the right time. And I've had an affection and a bond with the Byrd family ever since the 1990s. I thank God for them. During that time, one of the preachers that Bishop Byrd brought to preach for our mid-year in the 5th was his son. And you know how folk are in the church. They introduced him, folk were saying, oh, he just brought him because that's his son. And after we heard him preach, we said, oh, now we know why Bishop Byrd brought him to preach. He is a preacher's preacher. Trained in head and heart. Somebody say amen. Extremely well prepared. Undergrad at Harvard, law school at the University of Pennsylvania, and a Master of Divinity at Princeton Theological Seminary. Currently sits on the Judicial Council of the African Methodist Episcopal Church. And just in case you don't know it, he is an aspirant for Episcopal service, and his announcement has been well received not only in this annual conference, in this Episcopal district, but all over the A.M.E. church. People are speaking well of the Reverend Vernon Byrd. Somebody say amen. Amen. He and I share an affinity for wives that are much taller than us. We do that. It says something about him. He's secure in who he is. He's well married to the Reverend Dr. Melinda Contreras Byrd. And one of the things I just love about the preacher tonight is his humility. Now, a lot of people find it difficult to do the things that are required of you as an A.M.E. To become fully ordained when you are a second career person, especially when you've had a successful first career. He was a very well-respected and high-ranking lawyer with the J&J Corporation, and yet heard and followed the voice of God into ministry. Some people would have used the connections that he has to short-circuit the system and to get around and miss a few bases. But I watched him those many years struggle to try to finish. It's hard to do an MDiv when you have a full-time demanding job and you're raising a family and you're pastoring a church. And somehow, in fact, I remember this, it just came to me. I was in the library at Princeton doing research for something, and I walked by, and who did I see in a cubbyhole? Over there studying and getting his lesson done, but none other than our preacher. He's a serious student of the Word, and yet did not use his father's name, did not use his relationship at J&J, but he touched every base until he completed the MDiv and was fully ordained in the African Methodist Episcopal Church. And that's why folk in St. Matthew love him so much. Christmas, he comes to us having all of those accomplishments and yet still standing in the need of our prayers. If we can pray, I believe the preacher can preach tonight. Won't you pray with me that God will speak through God's chosen vessel on this Thanksgiving celebration tonight, and we might hear a word from God that may send us into this season with a spirit of appreciation. The next voice you'll hear following the selection by St. Matthew's Choir will be none other than their pastor, the Reverend Vernon Bird Sr. Jr., Esquire. Somebody say amen.